I know how scary and weird and freaky it can be to have like a complete psychopath and weirdo going after you with like these seedy, shitty, no moral having, garbage, ambulance chasing, shithead lawyer freaks who will literally agree to do anything so long as you pay them to do it.
I feel like Fantano really dropped the ball on a recent video he made about Ethan Klein, and I have some responses for him. I haven't really been talking about H3 on this channel that much for the last year, but I have talked about H3. I mean, H3 played one of my videos. Search H3 on my channel. You'll see all the content I made revolving them and whatnot. So not much has changed since I made all that content as far as me and who I support and who I think is in the right. And I still do believe that Ethan Klein is in the right for his lawsuits. And I haven't really talked about his lawsuits, but the reason I'm talking about it here is because Anthony Fantano is somebody that I have been talking about quite a bit often recently. And so this video pisses me off that he made, and I want to react to it because why?
To all the detractors who are saying,
right? Because I know what I'm talking about. So let's get to it. If you don't like it, fuck it. I don't care. But we're gonna react to the full thing here, okay? And I'm gonna pull up things that I want to pull up. Let's go.
To all the detractors who are saying that I'm targeting women, that I'm a hypocrite for suing for copyright infringement, I just have this to say. I don't care. What I do hope, though, is that you'll support their crowdfunding efforts to defend themselves. Because let's face it, I want to make sure there's money left over for me when I win my lawsuits.
I don't really want to say too much here because I truly don't have to say too much. And I don't like to spend, a whole lot of time on the internet directly going at, in a very dramatic way, other creators. It's like the purpose of my platform for the most part, even though I do like to kind of shit on right-wingers and, total pieces of garbage on the internet who I think make the music community worse. When it comes to like the broad content creator sphere, unless somebody's like, just being completely wrong-headed about some music or talking about me or just being like a real fucking idiot, I like to keep mostly quiet and just like kind of chill. And I don't pay it.
Okay. He says that he likes to say mostly chill, and it's kind of ironic that he says that because he has been going ape shit on Twitter harder than he ever has been, to the point where his Reddit has almost completely turned on him. Let me pull it up here. And the reason I'm doing this is because, let me rewind.
I like to keep mostly quiet.
He likes to keep mostly quiet. So Anthony Fantano is painting this picture that he's some sort of pacifist online. Okay. Cut to Anthony Fantano's Twitter that he likes to call the Evil Bird app on YouTube, but really seems to embrace the personality on Twitter. Let's see what he does on Twitter day in and day out. I love Anthony, but he is legit chronically online these days. He needs to just get off the internet, especially Twitter, for a little while. People aren't just making this shit up. He goes ape shit on Twitter on randos all day, every day. Now, if it would let me log in here, I could show you, but as you can see, Twitter is a garbage dog shit app because 12 people work there. But I want to do some boots on the ground research of Anthony Fantano's Twitter. I don't know what we'll find here. I'm just trying to give you a sense of how like Twitter obsessed he is. And you get a sense by his profile picture. Fantano is far from some online pacifist. Oh yeah, so here he is talking to denims. I talked about it. He loves getting attention from denims. And that's another thing. He is not opposed to groveling and lowering his bar for what's acceptable when it comes to like pretty girls online. Like he's willing to throw it all for a pretty girl online, like his integrity. And that'll become more clear the farther we get into this video. If you go to this Reddit post here, you can see that people have a problem with his online behavior, specifically on Twitter.
I don't pay attention to a whole lot of streamers to begin with, across the board. But I feel like what just happened here needs to be discussed because it's a very broad issue that affects all content creation across the internet. But what seems to have happened, thankfully, is denims. I stream, but I don't consider myself like, a hardcore streamer, but I'll say fellow streamer denims just got a tentative ruling.
Streamer is that word's doing a lot of heavy lifting there when talking about denims.
In the lawsuit leveled.
She tends to just kind of sit there and stutter and just kind of blink awkwardly and come through with lukewarm take and then end up contradicting herself 2 minutes later.
Against her by Ethan Klein of the H3H3 podcast. Now, I don't want to spend, this little rant here and this talk kind of getting into the nitty gritty of the content nuke and Ethan's psychosexual obsession with Hassan and
this psychosexual obsession with Hassan line is a direct pull from this like weird snarky universe that exists around Ethan Klein and H3H3 Productions. There's no other way that you could come to some sort of conclusion that Ethan Klein has a psychosexual obsession with Hassan Piker other than picking that up from this strange snarky thundercloud that exists to follow Ethan around everywhere he goes. And so clearly, I mean, that is an immediate sign to me that that's where Anthony Fantano resides. That's where he is. This is a terminally online, extremely nihilistic and extremely radical. They happen to be left wing, but more than anything, they're just extremist ideologies. And this isn't the radical left that Donald Trump drones on about, which is really just neoliberal Democrats. No, this is an actual sect of radical communism. Really, what they want is a destruction of American institutions. What they want is a lessening of power of America, which on one hand is, you know, not a horrible thing considering the evil America has done around the world. But at the same time, I'm not joking. These people don't care if Americans die in this pursuit towards the utopia. They don't care if Americans don't have shelter over their head in order for their revolution to bring upon this utopian socialist society. You know, this is what Anthony Fantano is a part of, and he's soft launching that here with this video. Okay, he rarely goes into where he is politically beyond just like some vague mentions. I mean, obviously he is very anti-MAGA, but who isn't, right? But this video is his signal to his audience on YouTube that he aligns with these people. He aligns with Denims, and Denims is a person I've been making fun of for over a year now. Maybe now is the time to pull up my Denims video.
Please don't get so stun-locked. Please don't get so stun-locked.
What did I miss? I can't, okay, dude? You guys don't understand it. It won't be good for my health.
Wait, really? すごい! 完全に僕の勝ちだ! 僕の勝ちだ! Dude, I have white boy swag, dude. Holy shit.
Hassan kun. What would be, yeah.
It's Turkish.
I mean, this girl, let's continue on.
The content nuke and
Fantano is effectively telling everybody that he aligns himself with Mike from PA here. Look at the people. I mean, we got Denims, we got Mike from PA, and we got Anissa Joma. All right, and he is on their side. Mike from PA, what the fuck did he say about Jewish people? I mean, this dude is a fucking racist caveman.
Mike from PA just called Jews a, quote, demonic ethnicity.
It's not a joke.
That sounds pretty bad.
It's what he says.
That sounds crazy. Pretty bad.
Sounds unbelievable, even.
You know, well, this is Mike from PA who, for whatever reason, continues to have a career on Twitch, despite
this is who Anthony Fantano has aligned himself with.
On a weekly basis, wishing death or violence upon me. Like, why does Dan Clancy want me to die? I mean, I understand if he didn't like me. Right, I've been in pain in his ass probably. Mm-hmm. But why does he want me to die?
I don't think he wants you to die.
Then why is he allowing Mike to threaten my life? Unless he agrees with him.
I don't know if there's
anyway, here's
one there.
Here's Mike from PA, who's totally not anti-Semitic and is absolutely 100% only anti-Zionist. And
mind you, this is who Fantano, he has this man on his screen here for the entirety of the video, this 12 minutes. This is who Fantano has decided to align himself with.
Remember, guys, Zionism does not equal Judaism. Remember, Sam Cedar stood here on my show, looked me in the face, and accused me of anti-Semitism for conflating. But Mike here from PA, one of the starlets of this online leftist movement, he is not anti-Semitic, no matter what the Jews try to tell you. Roll it.
Roll
it. The curse of Iran's unremitting aggression
Fuck you, Benjamin Netanyahu.
For the blessing of a historic...
You caused all of this, brother. Fuck you, Benjamin Netanyahu, you warmongering, genocidal piece of shit.
Reconciliation between Arab and Jew. In the days that followed
that shit crazy.
The blessing
Jew is not a fucking ethnic. It is a Jewish is not an ethnicity.
Now, just to pause. He's already doing anti-Semitism. Judaism is a distinct genetic ethnicity. This conversation's been had. It's
a religion and an ethnicity.
Scientific. There's a reason that I take a blood test on my heritage and it just says you're Ashkenazi Jew. There's a reason for that. There's a distinct genetic ethnicity.
Crash cut, Mike from PA. Jew is not an ethnic.
To being Jewish. Now, denying that is another Nazi talking point. But we don't even have to split hairs on that one because just wait.
It is a Jewish is not an ethnicity. This constructed ethnicity. This demonic ethnicity. Wholly invented.
I'm sorry. Did you guys hear him say that?
What's happening?
Ethnicity.
I choked on my root beer. There's some Mike PA updates that
okay, well, I sent you what was...
so Mike from PA has been retweeting some people. The first one was...
This is
I wonder if the internet existed during World War II. If you'd have swarms of the most annoying people alive policing anti-Nazi activists jumping on any possible interpretation of their words, being anti-German. Worse that they fell for outrage bait from a Zionist pedophile. Who's the Zionist pedophile?
I don't know.
Are they talking about me?
Hope not.
Well,
Jeffrey Epstein?
They will be calling him a Zionist pedophile in just a few months from this point.
Epstein?
Is he the guy behind...
Maybe.
Did he force...
I don't know. I'm going to fast forward through this.
Oh, so let me read this one. This guy tweeted out, as Dems converge on agreement that Israel has been committing an atrocity, I do think there needs to be some reckoning among mods that while lots of ugly anti-Semitic bursts from the left after October 7th, the left was fundamentally more right about what this world would become. So this person is, on one hand, being like, yes, there was lots of anti-Semitism after October 7th, but for the most part, the left was right. It seems like, you know, a fair statement to make on behalf of leftist people. But no, Mike doesn't like it. He says, what, quote, lots of ugly anti-Semitic bursts from the left, quote. Seriously, what significant or institutional anti-Semitism emerged that weren't even being mentioned? Amongst the genocide of 200,000 Palestinians, criminalization of anti-Zionism and BDS, or the disappearance of protesters.
So well, they're mad about that statement below?
Yes, they're mad. Okay. Because they will not concede that anti-Semitism exists at all.
Okay.
That's fundamental. And you've seen even Hassan do this. He goes, yeah, no, I agree. I totally respect microaggressions, but you're hallucinating anti-Semitism 100%. He said that to my face.
Right. So this is the person that Anthony Fantano has decided to align himself with. Mike from PA.
Ethan's psychosexual obsession with Hassan and iDubbbz and Anissa. And
this psychosexual obsession line is directly from the snark communities. It doesn't come from anywhere else because no sane person would be able to draw that conclusion because Ethan doesn't obsess over anybody's sexuality. He's just pissed. That's really what it comes down to. He's pissed and he will make fun of whatever you are most insecure about. And the thing that people like Hassan are most insecure about is their looks. The only person that is psychosexually obsessed with Hassan is Hassan himself and Anissa. Those are the only people psychosexually obsessed with Hassan. The people that want to screw him, basically. And I'm kind of picking up the vibes that that's what Fantano wants to do because he's just eaten up all of the talking points without providing any evidence. Like, where's the evidence that Ethan is psychosexually obsessed with Hassan? It's fabricated out of thin air because if you listen to Ethan talk, he makes a lot of very good points and he always provides very good evidence to back up his points. And usually Fantano is somebody that does that too. But as you notice in this case, all of these things he's saying about Ethan, he doesn't pull up anything to back his case up because he can't do it in good faith. He can't pull up anything in good faith.
And a host of other things that about the whole situation. I just particularly find weird.
So it's very easy to say that there's a host of other things that you particularly find weird, but you brush right past it and you don't supply any examples. And this is what they all do. They, as in the snarkers, they say, oh, he's done all this weird stuff, but they don't have any evidence. They don't have any examples. They just say, yeah, I think I saw some weird stuff slide by my feed once and I didn't like it, so I don't like it, which is fine. I don't expect people to go and do deep dive research. But the point is, you guys are consuming misinformation about a person and their intentions. You're just jumping to conclusions without looking into it deeper than you would if it was a story about somebody else. You just are making these assumptions about the person because it's Ethan.
Are there elements of these dynamics that Ethan genuinely feels like, burned about and pissed off about? Like maybe, possibly, I feel.
So there's maybe, possibly some elements that Ethan may feel burned about. All right, so what we're talking about here is random online internet freaks and famous snarker streamers encouraging the internet freaks to call CPS on a man's family based on nothing but lies and rumors and just fabricated stories that their children are in danger and are gonna consume poop. So this is quite an insane statement from Fantano. It really is.
Are there elements of these dynamics that Ethan genuinely feels like, burned about and pissed off about? Like
when Fantano's being fair, he offers this up and he says something like, yeah, sure. But listen to what he says because it's about Ethan Klein. Ignoring all of the things that everybody knows. Talk about psycho behavior towards somebody. The random snarkers that have targeted Ethan and plus the famous streamer snarkers that have lashed onto Ethan. Talk about psycho. But no, Fantano can't concede that Ethan has seen horrors beyond what Fantano has faced because Fantano doesn't have a snark page and a psycho Discord with their only goal to destroy Ethan's life. Like Fantano doesn't have, he's not up against that at all, not even close. Fantano doesn't have a snark page, and even if there is some Fantano hate group, it's not on the same level as the Ethan Klein hate group because the Ethan Klein hate group is more in the line of like the Charlie Kirk hate group, if you know what I mean.
That Ethan genuinely feels like, burned about and pissed off about. Like maybe, possibly, I feel like I don't know enough about these interpersonal relationships. Again,
it's real convenient for Fantano to not know all the nitty gritty details, but he's still gonna make this video titled "The Loser Lost a Lawsuit." Brother, you can't hand wave away all the nitty gritty details because that's the reason why the lawsuit exists, Fantano. Your video is dog shit. You've done no research. You've done no unbiased investigation into what's going on here. This is Fantano's worst video he's ever fucking made. And I love Fantano's videos. I eat them up. But I happen to know what's actually going on with the Ethan Klein thing and the Ethan Klein lawsuits and who these people are that he has pulled up on this screen, who he's siding with. I know a lot about this shit. I've never seen Fantano be so fucking misinformed, willfully misinformed about a topic.
Again, on a personal level, to really comment on that front, what pisses me off about the whole thing and what makes this tentative ruling in Denims' favor about all of this, what makes me...
And by the way, the reason he's commenting on this is because, and I guess I should have explained this at the beginning, but Ethan Klein is suing Denims because she reacted to his content with the stated goal, like her stated goal of the stream, and she said this on stream, was basically, I'm not quoting, but it was basically, watch my stream so you don't have to give Ethan Klein money. Watch my stream reacting to his copyrighted content, Nuke, so you don't have to watch his and give him money directly. You can give me that money directly. Ethan Klein had copyrighted that video that he put hundreds of hours of work into. It's a really impressive video, the content, Nuke. You should go watch it because that's what all of this revolves around. He made that video, spent hundreds of hours making it. He copyrighted it. He uploaded it to YouTube. And then he sued the people that told their audience, basically, this is a hate watch party and watch my stream instead of watching his so you don't have to give him money. And as you will come to find out, Anthony Fantano, he doesn't value copyrights. That may seem like it's a bit of a stretch, but it's not when you realize Anthony Fantano's ideology, which is something that he is purposefully not upfront about very much on his channel. He is, if you can read between the lines, but this video that he's made here is the most explicit about his ideology that he has ever been. And so now I know for a fact where his head is at because I know a lot about these people that he is shouting out here on his screen. And I know their ideology. And their ideology is, something like copyright law doesn't matter because what they want, genuinely what they think is best, is some sort of communist government. And in a communist government, guess what doesn't matter that much? Copyright law. Okay. And they're wanting a real violent revolution in America. And what do they want the result of their revolution to be? Communist society. It sounds great until you want to fucking make more than the capped wage that you're allowed. It sounds great until your rights start to get stripped away. It sounds great until your freedom of speech gets stripped away. It sounds great until you're in the fucking American communist China. You just think of the CCP and how their internet is controlled. They don't have free speech. That's what they want. And you'd think I'm exaggerating, but look at someone like Hassan Piker, who is Denims and Mike from PA and Anissa Joma's political guru. And who does he worship? He worships Russia. He worships China. He worships North Korea. We do not need a violent revolution to go backwards. That's all I'm saying. But Fantano here, he disagrees with me on that.
Be happy about this with joy is look, no matter what problem you have with any of these people, personally or politically, whatever, you cannot be using this as an opportunity to destroy internet.
And Fantano, I take that point and I flip it on its head and I say, just because you disagree with Ethan doesn't mean you can hand wave away how he's been affected by the psychotic. You want to talk about, he says psychosexual obsession. And I mentioned this earlier, but it's such a fucking mind-blowing point to me. You want to talk about psycho obsessions, yet you are dismissing how psycho the snark community that Ethan is up against, where they're sending human skulls to his office. They're threatening all of his employees. They are trying to get his kids taken away from him. And guess what just came out today? There is a secret snarker Discord, Ethan Klein hate Discord, and there are moles, at least one mole coming out of there now, leaking things from that Discord. The fact that we know about the Discord is in itself a leak from someone inside. And look what was leaked today from the Discord, allegedly from the Ethan Klein hate Discord. Ethan's 4-year-old son is named Bruce Klein. Someone in this Discord said on January 18th, 2026, want to help me find Bruce Klein's preschool? Fantano has no fucking idea what Ethan is up against right now.
Politically, whatever, you cannot be using this as an opportunity to destroy internet content creation and reaction content, commentary content. I don't care how up your own ass you are.
This idea that Ethan Klein's lawsuit, if he won, which it seems like I don't think he is going to win on this one, but he has a lot of lawsuits going on. If he were to have won, this idea that it would destroy online commentary for everybody is just wrong. It's just a wrong conclusion to make. There's no evidence to suggest that anybody would be able to use the ruling from that lawsuit as precedent for getting anybody that watches your video taken down. No, one of the biggest things that Fantano misses in this entire video is that Ethan Klein sued 3 people specifically. He didn't sue everybody that watched the content nuke. No, he sued the 3 people that said, hey, come watch my stream and my reaction of the content nuke instead of watching Ethan's, so you don't have to give Ethan money and you can give me money instead. That's why Ethan sued them, and Ethan knew that it was going to be a bad look because all 3 of them were women, but he decided to throw fucking Noah Samson in the mix anyway. So now it's not just women. He got Noah Samson's ass mixed in there too. And guess what? Ethan copyrighted his video before he posted it on YouTube. Anybody's allowed to do that. It's not even that expensive. It's a little bit of paperwork. Now, most people don't do that because a lot of YouTube videos are quick. Ethan put hundreds of hours into that YouTube video. Like I said, go watch it. Content Nuke, Hassan Piker by Ethan Klein. I don't know what's going on with Fantano. Wherever he is online, these snark communities, this extreme radical left online Twitter space that he hates, but he also can't stay away from it. He has this love, and Hassan too, and Denims, they're like, no, we hate Elon Musk. And I agree, fuck Elon Musk. But we're gonna all convene on his platform. We can't get ourselves onto Threads. We can't get ourselves onto Blue Sky. There's nothing quite like that Nazi page. I love Grok. Give me that graki kaki. And Fantano, he literally fucking disses Twitter in this video while he can't stay off Twitter. That's where Nazis reside. And I'm not saying Fantano is a Nazi. I'm just saying that people like Mike from PA really flirt with things like Nazism, and that's who Fantano is deciding to show on his screen right here.
I don't care how psycho you are. I don't care how demented or mentally ill you are. You cannot be using your millions of dollars, and you cannot be using your platform to sue and go after other creators simply for the sin of reacting to your content, good or not, and having their own thoughts and opinions about it.
No, that's not what he sued for. Ethan always, he built, and Fantano knows this, Ethan built his career on reacting to content, and Ethan still does his career reacting to content. Ethan reacts to content every week. Do you think Ethan planned on quitting doing that if he won the lawsuit? No. Obviously not. There are rules to fair use. There are stipulations. There are boundaries. There are barriers to fair use. He'll get into this. I have so much. 3 minutes in, I knew this video was going to take forever.
About it that you don't like. There are lots of people who comment on and talk about my content. Are there situations in which I would maybe take legal action if those comments happen to come from a defamatory place and it was like all and out like complete lies or whatever? I mean, sure, but that's a different thing than going after somebody just merely for reacting to your content.
No, that's not what he did. Why did Fantano make this video when he's so misinformed on the situation? I mean, clearly he's never heard Ethan talk about the lawsuit, because if he had listened to Ethan talk about the lawsuit, which something that I would assume Fantano would do, this guy I have been watching for his fair criticism and opinions for over a decade now, I would assume he would take the time to at least listen to what Ethan has to say about the lawsuit. But no, he doesn't give a damn, because he's all wrapped up in this fucking brainwash cult that's going on, the communism brainwash cult that's going on. And I don't even hate socialism. I am a socialist in a way. I am a democratic socialist. Socialist policies are what this country needs, but it's this radicalized bastardization of what makes communities wholesome. It's just so fucking disturbing to me. And these childless fucks don't give a damn about the future that we're leaving for our children. We don't want to leave this country burning to a crisp for our future generations, but that's what they don't care. They want a revolution. They want radical change. Who doesn't? But this isn't the way. Turning a blind eye to things, it sounds trite, but copyright law, property rights, they don't believe in that kind of shit. They just don't. They don't want to own anything. And I don't care that much either, necessarily, but it's how extreme they are with it that freaks me out. I'm just so dumbfounded that people I thought were smart, Fantano, for example, are falling into this idiocy, this just like cruel, turning a blind eye to the truth, to facts type of shit. It sucks, man.
And claiming, making the claim that it was stealing. Making the claim that this person is stealing.
It was stealing. Fantano, it was stealing. The only 3 people he sued over the content nuke stated, watch this instead of him. And to add insult to injury, most of them, Casey Tron specifically, sat there and said nothing. Their commentary is so minimal. When you go back and watch their reactions, their commentary is so minimal. In fact, let's do this.
Stealing from.
This pisses me off so bad because Fantano just willfully is not doing unbiased research into this situation, which I didn't expect him to, but just this dog shit video he made. One of the people that Ethan sued, Casey Tron, smoked more than she spoke when she watched the content nuke. She smoked more than she spoke.
Commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer
That is not transformative. You're allowed to react to content on YouTube, or you're allowed to do reaction content as long as it's transformative. That means you talk more than the fucking video. You pause it every 2 seconds. That means you basically chop up the video and you transform it. You ruin the video, so people have to go watch the original in order to get the true value out of the original, if that makes sense. Fantano doesn't give a fuck about that. People like Fantano, people like Hassan Piker, they don't care about copyright law. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about you being able to monetize your creations. I mean, they do to a certain extent, but clearly not really.
Smoking.
So let's watch Casey Tron smoke.
Then she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction.
Damn, that's time as well. That's not just like, I thought, okay, like taking a drag or a bong hit, that takes like 5 seconds, whereas a commentary section can take like 2 minutes. So, wait, they timed it. Oh my god, man. What are these smoke clips? It is readily apparent that the primary and overriding purpose of Denim's group viewing session of the nuke was to provide a substitute for the original. It is equally obvious that any commentary of the nuke was an afterthought. Denims made numerous statements explicitly stating her group viewing session was intended to serve as a substitute for the nuke. Ethan Klein, Hassan Content Nuke Watch Party, this is not a drill. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views to the nuke. Oh no.
And Fantano says that this is fair use.
With, yeah.
And to be honest, the judge tentatively said that it is fair use. Now, apparently a ruling was made today. I didn't see anything about it, so it seems like the judge ruled in Denim's favor. So congratulations to Denims. I mean, I'm a little worried about what that precedent sets for being able to control your content and properly monetize works that you put tons of effort into. People can essentially just react to that content without including any of their own commentary, without transforming it at all, and monetize that themselves. But for some reason, Fantano's not worried about that. It doesn't make any fucking sense. He just doesn't agree with Ethan politically. And what's so gross about this video Fantano made is that he starts it off saying, this isn't political. Well, yeah, it is political, Fantano. Like, don't lie. Like, it's obviously politically charged for you. God, I mean, this really is such a brain dead video from Fantano. I'm glad I'm able to express myself here about it. I'm so grateful I have this platform.
And go after other creators simply for the sin of reacting to your content, good or not, and having their own thoughts and opinions about it that you don't like. There are lots of people who comment on and talk about my content. Are there situations in which I would maybe take legal action if those comments happen to come from a defamatory place and it was like all and out like complete lies or whatever? I mean, sure, but that's a different thing.
Okay, yeah, it's a different thing from this lawsuit specifically, but there is another lawsuit that Ethan Klein filed last week to iDubbbz that is a defamation lawsuit, where iDubbbz put on screen saying something like Ethan Klein is a pedophile for hours, leaving it up on screen. So that's defamation, especially under Canadian law. So I'm curious what Fantano's thoughts are on that one. But he magically doesn't mention it here. I don't know why. I guess we're focused on just this one, just this case, I guess.
Then going after somebody just merely for reacting to your content.
And the way that Fantano emphasizes, it was merely just for reacting to your content. Bro, Denim's reaction was so piss poor. Denim's insane reaction to Content Nuke.
Here's a Hassan Orbiter Denims. You guys might not know who she is because she's mostly irrelevant, except she was the main freebooter of when I posted the Content Nuke. She had like 45,000 live viewers.
For the watch party.
For the watch party that she threw.
The hate watch party.
The watch party.
She posted, there was posts on Snark and on Hassan's subreddit saying, go watch her instead of giving Ethan views. She even says it at the end of her video, which is not great if you're trying to avoid committing copyright infringement. It's not great.
Bad move.
It's not a great look to do that. And it'd be a shame if somebody was, well, it's just not great.
It's not a good move.
No.
Just a little advice, Denim.
Still wasn't a great move.
And then she's got at the top here, watching Hassan Content Nuke from Ethan Klein. Everybody get in here. 45,000 views. She usually gets like, I think, less than 1,000. Yeah, Denims, ex-Destiny Orbiter. Very good. Very good.
From Believe All Women to Pixar Didn't Happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were raped were murdered on the spot.
Here's the thing, though. We are believing the women who come forward and talk about their sexual abuse or experiences. I'm not going to believe fucking Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting raped. That's insane. Mm-hmm. You realize that that's insane, right?
Yeah. Obviously.
Gam Goldstein Almog was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas terrorists and was held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Agam reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it What's the problem, fucking bitch? Did you not hear what they said? You respect women? Why are you calling them liars? How fucking cool is that? Say something. You just said you believe victims, but here it's a victim right now, a woman, telling you this happened and you're smiling? What's funny about that? And each week there's more
Nothing
stories
to say.
coming
She's going like because she doesn't believe the Israeli woman was raped. She doesn't believe that.
Now, there's a UN report that concludes it happened.
Doesn't matter.
But Hassan needs a rape kit from a mutilated...
Wait, wasn't this disproven? Was this clip from her disproven? Is he going to play the clip of her?
This clip of her first... How do you disprove firsthand testimony? Like, this should be in a museum. Okay, first of all, she's a fucking bitch. Shame on you. Fuck you. How dare you? You say you fucking support women and you sit here and you fucking giggle and laugh at this girl who was raped?
It's sick.
And then immediately you say, I believe all women. And
it's
they say,
sick.
oh, wasn't she lying? Like, go to a museum. Put this there. This is
the museum. I'm letting this shit live on, bro. We're gonna keep pumping life into this shit because I watched this all unfold in real time and I couldn't believe what the fuck was happening. And with this online situation, it doesn't have to do with the genocide that Israel's committing against Palestine, which Ethan has never denied, and he has stated that that's exactly what's happening over and over and over again. He knows exactly what's happening. It fucking tears him up inside, I'm sure. But the way that this snark community, the lengths and the cruelty that they're willing to stoop to, it's eye-opening. I call myself a progressive. I call these people, I don't want to say radical leftists because that's what Trump says, but what Trump is talking about is just fucking normal Democrats. There's a difference between the neoliberal, just normal fucking Democratic Party, and then like actual extreme leftists who hate Democrats. They're closer to Trump's side than they are to the Democratic Party. People like Denims, people like Hassan, they're extreme like Trump, and they also hate Democrats just like Trump. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
Caliber. This is what's happening in Hassan's community. This is what it is. How can I live in this fucking... We're not...
I feel you, Ethan. I've felt this the whole time.
One more time. I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to pics or it didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were raped
Look how
were
smug
murdered on
she
the
is.
spot.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay, good. Let's get all high and mighty and let's go ahead and question the narrative. Well, I just don't believe Biden. If it was firsthand accounts, I'd believe them. Go ahead and say that shit.
We are believing the women who come forward and talk about their sexual abuse or experience.
I love the righteous indignation. She would never do that.
I'm not going to believe fucking Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting raped.
Yeah.
She'll believe the women if it comes from the women, right?
That's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
You
isn't
realize
it?
that's insane,
It's
right?
so crazy. Obvious. Her first instinct being wasn't that disproven. Imagine that. Imagine someone who says they believe women and support women of sexual violence, and your first fucking thought after being disproven is that this bitch is lying. And actually continue to stream with a straight fucking face and pretend to be progressive. This is why this whole fucking thing is so hard for Israelis to process it.
Gam Goldstein Almog was kidnapped.
It's pretty fucking clear to me. And we'll just continue on with the Fantano video from here.
And making the claim that it was stealing. Making the claim that this person is stealing from you by...
Yeah, she told her audience that it was stealing. I mean, it's not just like a made-up claim. Like, no, Denims and Casey Tron and Frogan, they basically said, yo, we're stealing this shit, guys. And I just showed the fucking lawsuit.
Reacting to...
I'm not making it up.
Your content, bro. That is literally how you got started on the internet.
And Ethan made this point very clear when he set these new lawsuits out. This lawsuit, the original one, where he scored a tentative win for fair use online, argued for fair use from that side. Like, this is what fair use means. Fair use means transformative. That's what this ruling basically defined. What is transformative fair use? So Ethan got it defined, right? And then when he set forth these new lawsuits, he's like, yo, I defined it from that perspective. He defined the ceiling and he's going to define the floor as well. He's making the box. And that's what copyright law is. It's a fucking box. And these radical leftists, they don't give a damn. They want to blow it up. They want everything to be free. Like, Fantano is such a fucking idiot. He goes on and on and on about streaming services not paying artists enough, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, he's arguing against copyright law. Well, how do you think artists get paid off their songs, Fantano? Copyright law. Why do you think you can't fucking do a reaction on your monetized channel to the full song? Like, that's why you can't fucking play the songs. That's why you have to sing the songs in your reviews, because you can't play them outright. Copyright law. All right. It is what it is. Artists are barely hanging on with what they got. If anything, copyright law needs to be strengthened in this era of streaming where everything is just wishy-washy. Fantano is literally arguing for people to be able to take a Fantano video, upload it to their own channel, put a little black square in the corner, not add any transformative words, and get paid off of Fantano's content. And he has the balls to sit here and say that Ethan would destroy the reaction community. Fantano has not thought this through thoroughly at all. He should not have made this video. It's a dog shit video. We're only 4 minutes in.
Dude, you literally had your own fair use lawsuit about this same shit.
The undisputed purpose of the defendant's live stream is to contest, criticize, and mock the plaintiff's message, which the courts have found weighs in favor of fair use due to its transformative nature. And they even proceed to cite Ethan Klein's case.
I feel bad and I regret ever having platformed you.
And you're saying it's not political, bro. The fuck is this? You regret platform? Like, this is such an unnecessary aside. I mean, it's obviously very clear, Fantano, that you regret associating with Ethan. You doing this is so petty. And it's obviously political, which is fine. But you started the video off saying this isn't political, but it is.
And had you on my own channel on a podcast and pushed people in your direction because you turned around and ended up doing this. And
this is the issue. This is Fantano's only issue with Ethan Klein, apparently. No, it's very obvious that Fantano has very deep issues with Ethan Klein's very normal takes. That's the issue here. Fantano is trying to make it seem like Ethan is the one with insane takes. Ethan has very level-headed, unbiased, humanitarian perspective, Christ-like. I would go as far as to say Ethan has a Christ-like perspective on this situation. Yet Fantano says this.
Ever having platformed you
platforming
and had you
Ethan
on my own channel on a podcast and pushed people in your direction because you turned around and ended up doing this.
He regrets platforming Ethan just because of this copyright law, which would actually end up benefiting creators monetarily. Like, people trying to protect their work from people like Hassan Piker who fucking chair react. Ethan has been fighting the same damn fight for 5-6 years. Yet people like Fantano create this narrative as if Ethan has changed. Ethan has become different. Ethan is fighting a completely different fight than he used to be. He's fighting the opposite side now. No.
So I guess my first question for you to start is that, do you think your work is transformative?
Yes.
You do?
Yep.
Okay, because I was watching you yesterday, and here you said it's absolutely not transformative. Here it is.
You don't have to care. That's totally fine. But do you agree that you've created non-transformative reactions?
100%, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We've agreed.
So here you say you've 100% made non-transformative reactions. Did you change your mind?
No, absolutely not. I didn't change my mind. The whole point is that never is a really bad.
Because I think we both agree, if we did a fair use analysis, and you admit that when you says it's not transformative, that a lot of the stuff you do would fail the fair use test. So we're on the same page. Yeah.
It's a fabricated narrative. And I'm trying to show you the proof. Somebody out there could find Hassan Piker chair reacting. It's really bad. He'll like throw on a TBS show, because you can do that on Twitch, and then walk away and just let this like copyrighted material play unchecked. And so that's the route that Fantano wants to go. I heavily disagree with that. I'd rather be able to protect my stolen property.
And I'm not even talking about whatever sort of like political or ideological sort of, disagreements you may have with these individuals, or that
No, Fantano, this is clearly coming from your political disagreements with Ethan Klein.
I may have with you. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about you're literally using your platform and literally using these petty disagreements, your own emotions that you're so tied up in this situation.
It's not just emotions, bro. They try to get his kids taken away from him. But this is something Fantano would never be able to understand, because he doesn't have kids. He doesn't understand that protectiveness that kicks into gear when somebody tries to take your kids away from you. He's purposefully missing it here. He's purposefully keeping himself withheld of information. He's purposefully not remembering these very important reasons why Ethan is so pissed. And they're very much justified. The CPS shit, the Skulls threats, the Snark Discord, the looking for Bruce Klein's preschool.
To destroy the very industry that we all operate within.
This idea that what Ethan was doing would destroy the industry that we all operate in, it's such a stretch, and there is no fucking proof that that would ever happen. Like, he's just completely fabricating this idea that if Ethan won, it would have destroyed everything. If anything, it would just strengthen your rights as a creator, you dumbass Fantano. It helps you, bro. It helps all of the successful creators.
Because you're mad that you're getting criticized. Are some of those...
Ethan's been criticized for longer than anybody else on the internet. Maybe next to you, Fantano. Maybe you're up there with him. I'm sure you know. Although the criticism Ethan faces, I mean, I've been watching both of you guys for a long time. I've been watching Fantano for longer. And I see the communities. I see the online communities. The hate that Ethan faces is like 100 times more intense, 100 times more threatening, 100 times more scary than whatever Anthony Fantano faces right now. I see it all. I know what's going on. Got my tentacles out there. It is what it is. It shouldn't even take that much convincing. It's pretty obvious.
That we all operate within, because you're mad that you're getting criticized. Are some of those criticisms unfair, and are they coming from like weird terminally online psychos that are on Reddit or this platform or that platform? Yeah, I'm sure some of them are. I deal with those types of people too all the time. But to be going after other streamers for commenting on your content, and if this lawsuit ended up going in Ethan Klein's favor, effectively would have destroyed the business model of anybody and everybody doing this same exact thing, reacting to other content, commenting on other content, transforming other.
He genuinely thinks that Ethan Klein was suing somebody for transforming his content. No, he was doing the exact opposite, Fantano. He was suing somebody for not transforming his content.
Critiquing and pulling apart other content that would have created such an ugly, horrible, just destructive, slippery slope. And you did it over some bullshit up in this situation to destroy the very industry that we all operate within, because you're mad that you're getting criticized. Are some of those criticisms unfair, and are they coming from like weird terminally online psychos that are on Reddit or this platform or that platform? Yeah, I'm sure some of them are. I deal with those types of people too all the time. But to be going after other streamers for commenting on your content, and if this lawsuit ended up going in Ethan Klein's favor.
So he said, yeah, there's probably some like small weird psychos out there, blah, blah, blah. But don't go after these big streamers. That's not fair. Crash cut to the big streamer. Now, this is them talking about this rumor that Ethan Klein let his children crawl around in dog feces because they got giardia, because they have dogs and they have 3 young children and blah, blah, blah. They're 3 boys and shit happens. And so that turned into a whole conspiracy that their children were in danger. And this is Denims chat, and this is her reacting and communicating with her chat about it. And you tell me that she isn't responsible. You tell me that she isn't one of these little small psycho snarkers, but just actually sitting in front of the camera. So what's effectively the difference? There is no difference between the small little psychos and then these other content creators when they're both saying the same vile shit. Read the comments here. It's so sick. These people are saying, just gleefully bragging, like hopeful that Ethan Ethan's children will get taken away from him. He did nothing. It's so fucking evil. And then the content creators, they laugh at it. They giggle and they laugh and they encourage it and they agree.
I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid.
Look at her chat. So this to me is like very important clip. This was streamed Monday, March 1st, 2 days before the CPS call came in. The call was made on the 3rd. This clip happened on Saturday. The call came in on Monday, exactly preceding that.
Denims is culpable in that shit. And that may be actually a crime. I think it is for whoever actually made the call. But Denims is certainly culpable in this. She is a party in the weaponization of the CPS against Ethan's family.
Wow, and look at
for no legitimate reason.
the comments. Call CPS. Child endangerment must CPS. Social services. Bro needs someone to call CPS. That's child. It's every comment.
Yeah.
How did they get the memo? Every single fucking comment. If their kids have Giardia, they actually need to be taken away. Like, that is, how could you?
Oh my God.
Kids get Giardia. That's not that weird. Actual worst father ever. So Ethan isn't only sexualizing underage girls, he's also neglecting children. Bro, that's just insane. Like, I don't even know what the fuck.
Like what?
I don't know what they do.
Decliner
I don't know
needs
if
to,
they
Decliner needs to take care of his kids.
Just from like
Giardia means you're leaving your dog shit on the floor for a while and your kids are walking on it.
Fantano, you have never gone up against something like this. This video you've made, it truly, like, my respect for you is down low, bro. I thought you were smarter than this.
Favor. Effectively would have.
Not that you have to like Ethan Klein, but these takes are dog shit, bro. These takes they're snark brained. You've checked your fucking logic. You've checked your brain. You've checked your unbiased out the window. You've checked it at the door. I mean, it's all political. You claim to do it in support of Palestinian children. You know, like, that's the reason that this is so bad, is because Israel has killed so many people, so many innocent children. Yet when it comes to Ethan Klein's children, you twirl this nonsense and you perpetuate these lies and this nasty rumor. That's effectively what Fantano was doing here. Because when people look into this on Denim's side, because later in the video, Fantano shouts out Denim saying that she's a respectable streamer, they're gonna go and see this as the respectable streamer. This is Fantano's respectable streamer right here.
He needs to take care of his kids.
Just from like
Giardia means you're leaving your dog shit on the floor for a while and your kids are walking.
This is what Anthony Fantano consumes in his off time. And people wonder why he's all weird on Twitter. Like, I showed you that Reddit post on his Twitter earlier. I didn't find any like good examples of him being crazy on Twitter, but they're out there. Keep your nose to the grindstone, you'll find them. They pop up pretty regularly these days. He's pretty fucking weird. And now I understand why. Because he's wrapped up in this weird snark shit. And he's very articulate. He's very good at dissecting music and art, and I always will respect him for that. But my God, dude, this is not it, Fantano.
Have destroyed the business model of anybody and everybody doing this same exact thing. Reacting to other content, commenting on other content, transformatively critiquing and pulling apart other content that would have created such an ugly, horrible, just
having a hate watch party is not transforming content.
Destructive, slippery slope. And you did it over some.
And by the way, the judge did say that it was a hate watch party. Before she made her tentative ruling, she did call it a hate watch party. It is what it is. I'm really curious to see what the ruling was today.
Bullshit. You did it over some stupid, mindless, petty.
It's not stupid and mindless. If Fantano went through the lawsuit, you would find that Ethan is very meticulous in finding examples, timestamps, so many examples, so many instances of building a case. And that's the thing. Fantano goes on to diss Ethan's lawyer. They, in my opinion, put in an insane amount of detailed work to create a really strong case. Now, whether the judge decides at the end of the day if it's transformative or not, that's out of the lawyer's hands. But I respect Ethan and his lawyer for their writing skills. And I mean, Ethan obviously has this whole operation, so they're able to just get any and all evidence that they know is out there. They're able to find it and put it in there. It's very well researched. And Fantano just dismisses it as like some bullshit.
Destructive, slippery slope. And you did it over some bullshit. You did it over some stupid, mindless, petty, emotional, moronic bullshit. is literally all you did it for. You didn't do it for any other reason other than some petty, stupid bullshit. And I'm glad that Denims had it rule in her favor. Not only because, you know, I like and respect Denims as a streamer, but this would have been bad for everybody making content on the internet if this had ruled in Ethan's favor. So I'm just coming on here and just celebrating this W, not for anyone's sake other than all of us, because if you like this stream, if you like the content of any person on the internet where they are reacting to a video or talking about somebody else's video or talking about some other piece of content somebody made and incorporated clips or incorporated a snippet here, a section there, or, you know, react.
Again, the idea that Ethan was suing Denims for including a little clip, it's moronic. It's just not true. This idea that people would have been able to use the ruling as precedent to just sue anybody for even adding just a tiny little clip, no, it's not true. Because that's not what Ethan was suing Denims for ever. Fantano is just flat out wrong about that. He's wrong about what the results of the precedent that Ethan would have set. He's wrong about what those results would have been. Now, I guess we won't ever know about that specific case, but do I wish Ethan would have won? Yeah, I do. I think it would strengthen the boundaries and the box within what copyright law is defined as on the internet with this type of content, with this type of product. When a new type of media is invented, copyright laws take a while to catch up and make them completely fair and just. Same thing happened in the music industry. You know, it is what it is. People have to get paid for their creations. Now, Fantano, on one hand, he spends so much, and I mentioned this earlier, he spends so much time backing up the artist, backing up the creator, right? They need to get paid more. Well, how do they get paid? They get paid by implementation of strong copyright laws, not unfair copyright laws, very fair copyright laws. You can react to content as long as it's transformative. What was the problem with Denim's content? It wasn't transformative.
To a full video on a stream, it would have been fucking donezo. It would have been donezo. Like, it would have set legal precedent that would have allowed any other content creator to go after a streamer.
There's just no reason to think that that would be true.
Go after a YouTuber monetarily, have this video, that video, this other thing pulled down, taken.
And by the way, that's already what's happening. And he knows this. You can't watch whatever the fuck you want on YouTube. It's just a thing. It's part of what makes the journey kind of fun. You have to work around it. You know, you can't use the song that you want. So you got to find something different that works. You got to jump through hoops to get this shit to work. You can't watch TBS like Hassan and walk away for 5 minutes while TBS keeps playing on the screen. But apparently you can do that on Twitch, which is wild and should be illegal in my opinion. Not that I love huge corporations, but when it comes down to the little guy artists trying to collect their royalties that they're owed, then we want the system to fucking work, right?
Down. And look, we're already dealing with a litany of that every week when it comes to movies and music and these massive corporations that like throw their weight around online and make it difficult to pull apart any content coming out of the mainstream these days. We don't need to be doing it from content creator to content creator. It's complete bullshit. So look, if you consume any content like this, you enjoy any content like this, you need to be aware of this lawsuit. You need to be aware of this ruling, and you need to be sharing it, and you need to be like celebrating it, because we really did genuinely like.
Okay, so another point is Anthony does a lot of ragging on AI, like all of us, right? He fights against large AI corporations taking over, like Suno AI taking over the music industry, things like that. Ethan Klein is in another lawsuit that's completely unrelated to any of this crap, but he is suing large media corporations like Facebook and Apple, etc. He's suing them for them scooping up data to train their AIs on. So I'm curious, will Fantano support Ethan in that pursuit? That is a pursuit that Anthony Fantano should support. If Anthony Fantano is not hating on Ethan purely because of political reasons, then he should full on support Ethan and his suit against the companies for the AI stuff. He should be in full support of Ethan on that. If he's not, then I mean, it's completely, there's no other explanation for this just being purely political nonsense. The reason why he's mad is purely political. By all accounts, Anthony should support Ethan Klein on the AI lawsuits. I need to get a statement on that from him. I guarantee you, if you were to ask Fantano about it, he would say, oh, I don't know enough about it. He'd say, I don't know anything about it. He wouldn't act like he was interested in learning more about it. He wouldn't take his time to go learn more about it. He would just ignore it. And why is that? Because he is politically opposed to Ethan Klein for whatever reason. reason, no good reason. In my opinion, he has completely misunderstood Ethan's position on things, and he's just purely on this hate bandwagon and not using his brain, which is very disappointing from Anthony Fantano.
I mean, I feel like if you had two brain cells to rub together and, you know, you already saw sort of like previous, you know, sort of like rulings in regards to fair use law, like as long as Denims was willing to sort of like put up the legal fight, chances were it wasn't going to go in Ethan's favor. But there were two other people who we pressured here legally who were not able.
Here we go. Cat Tinbarsh. Everything that he's citing is just straight from the snarker snake pit, bro. Cat Tinbarsh, Denims, Mike from PA. These are not good media personalities. These are snaky, politically biased hacks. They're not even good. At least Fantano is like really talented. Like, these people are not even talented. They're not entertaining, and they just feed into the most gnarly extremist leftism you can find. And I'm not joking. They all embrace this character named Bad Empanada. Look up his statements. He is a nasty fella. He's just really nasty and racist and not a great person. He is like their Master Yoda in a way. Hassan, Bad Empanada, Denims, Cat Tinbarsh, who's a journalist that, you know, writes articles for these people. They're all in cahoots, and that's where Fantano resides. But it's not political, he says.
To withstand the prolonged fees and all of that shit, who, you know, I feel very bad and I feel very sorry for. Ethan was happy to sort of like harass legally out of house and home almost, because it became so expensive to continue fighting him with lawyers. And I've been in this situation recently too. I mean, you know, not over a, you know, copyright thing, you know, with that douchebag Ronnie Radke. I spent tens of thousands of dollars to get that W, only to get paid, you know, my legal fees, you know, but it was like, I still ended up spending more money in the long run on all that. It was still a complete fucking waste of my time. Was, you know, stressful to at least some degree. Obviously not as stressful as it was, I'm sure, for the loser who lost. So, I mean, I've been in these situations before, and I know how scary and weird and freaky it can be to have like a complete psychopath and weirdo going after you with like these seedy, shitty, no moral having, garbage, ambulance chasing, shithead lawyer freaks.
That characterization of Ethan's lawyer is just beyond words. Like, where is he getting that from? I guarantee you he didn't read Ethan's lawsuit against Denims. It's not seedy and shady and like, what the fuck is he even referring to? He's just creating a caricature of a lawyer up in his head and just assigning that to Ethan.
How scary and weird and freaky it can be to have like a complete psychopath and weirdo going after you with like these seedy, shitty, no moral having, garbage and
no moral having. The morals are just different, bro. Like, you aren't thinking about it from the perspective as Ethan. That's a wild thing to say. I don't think Ethan would say that you don't have morals. Fantano, of course you have morals. Of course Ethan has morals. Of course Ethan's lawyer has morals. Why do you think they're doing this? Because they're standing up for their morals.
Ambulance chasing, shithead lawyer freaks who will literally
ambulance chasing? Bro, Ethan's had like a really loyal lawyer since his first lawsuit.
Agree to do anything so long as you pay them to do it. I know that feeling, and it's not very good.
He's saying that Ethan's lawyer would do anything as long as you pay him to do it. Ethan's lawyer feels personally connected to this case because he personally agrees with all of it. I mean, he agrees with Ethan. That's why he works with Ethan. I mean, he writes personal stories in the lawsuit filings. I know this because Ethan shows his audience, no paywall, it's all free. You can watch it on YouTube. He reads the lawsuits to his audience. He tells us like, yo, my lawyer added this, and like, this is really important to him too. Fantano, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just assuming a bunch of wrong things. It can be proved because it's all on video. Ethan's whole fight is on video. So all of the shit that people want to make up about Ethan, it can be proved wrong. And that's what I'm trying to do here today, at least a little bit.
And I absolutely, commend Denims for, putting up the legal fight that she needed to in order to get this ruling and get this to where it needed to be, because, Denims deserves really, truly like some accolades for doing this, because, her withstanding this and bringing it to this point and defending herself inadvertently, secondarily is really like a public service to all of this, because had this ruling gone in Ethan Klein's favor, or had she folded and allowed Ethan to run roughshod over her, just for reacting to the content nuke that he did. This would have meant that
that's not why he sued her. He didn't sue her because she reacted to the content nuke. He sued her because she told people to steal the content nuke and give her the money instead.
Again, it would be more difficult for other content creators to do this sort of thing. You know, to do exactly what I'm doing, to do exactly the sort of content that I'm sure you guys react to other creators do on the internet, you know, other creators doing, whether they're talking about politics, whether they're talking about movies, whether they're talking about whatever piece of content they're pulling apart or commentating on. Yeah, poor Casey Tron had to do a hostage video apology toward Ethan like she was being held at gunpoint on the internet, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, shout out to the Anthony Fantano in San Diego. Yeah, no, H3 weaponizing the copyright system because of political reasons is fucking pathetic. Again, we came so close to like shit being completely burned to the ground.
That's so fucking dramatic and just not true. Reaction content wouldn't have been burned to the ground. It just would have been strengthened.
Because this moron had to take something that is so vital to all of our content and burn it all down and essentially say like, well, I'm taking my ball and going home because you...
Literally not what would have happened. Ethan still does the H3 podcast every week, still reacts to other people's content every week. You think he would open himself up to lawsuits like that? He's still in the fucking space. Fantano's point here that Ethan took his ball and went home, not true. If that was true, Ethan would have closed the podcast. Fantano's just saying shit because he hates Ethan.
Ate a piece of...
Why does he hate Ethan? Help me answer that question. I can make my own conclusions. You tell me. Why do you think Fantano hates Ethan?
Content talking about my content that I don't like. Fuck you. Again, shout out to
fuck you
Denims, and I'm glad that it blew up in Ethan's face and that everybody got to witness.
Nothing blew up in Ethan's face. I'm sure Ethan's just fine.
It and really, like, you know, 15K likes and 600 retweets on this is shockingly low. Like,
that seems just about right.
There should be way more people openly celebrating this because we really truly...
No, there's not, because it's not that big of a win. If it was a huge win for the internet, people would be celebrating it. Like when Ethan won his first lawsuit, which was actually a big win for the internet. So people celebrated it.
We did just like dodge a fucking bullet. And the precedent that Ethan's last lawsuit along fair use lines, the precedent that set, he literally just tried to burn it to the ground over some personal petty shit.
It's not burning his last lawsuit to the ground. They were about different things, hitting the same issue from different angles, bro. Hitting that fair use issue from different angles is what Ethan was doing. Oh my God. I can't wait for this video to be over. It's almost done.
Which is just, again, ridiculous. And it's crazy to sort of like see the contrast between then and now in terms of like this man's public perception and optics. Like when he originally won that last lawsuit, he was a hero to the internet because he allowed for there to be sort of...
Yeah, it's almost like his image being tarnished has nothing to do with the lawsuits. It has to only do with the political shit, which you said it wasn't about at the beginning, but it clearly is, Fantano. And by the way, Ethan's political views are not what you think they are, because you haven't listened to Ethan for the last 3 years because you shut your ears once he said that he kind of likes capitalism. People freaked the fuck out when he said he kind of likes capitalism. And from there, it was just all downhill for Mr. Ethan Klein and the extreme leftists.
Sort of this like, you know, open and normalized discussion and engagement with, you know, sort of transformative content creation and reacting to other things online that has become the standard. And now you're trying to rip it away from everybody because you're pissed off over some personal shit.
No.
I'm sorry, but it's just stupid as fuck. So shout out to Denims. If you are, you know, still on the Bird app, as satanic and as awful as it is, I do recommend that you go on here and give her some congratulations.
Okay, so there he goes, shouting out the Bird app that's satanic and awful. Fantastic idea to push your audience to the satanic and awful Bird app, which, by the way, Fantano, you contribute to that satanic awfulness every day. All right, and that's why your subreddit is concerned about you. We're concerned, brother.